Okay, I have a few announcements. The first is the people who are helping with the altar, with the water bowls and the flowers and everything. Sultan says, please, can you meet right at 11:30? Because the empowerment will probably be around 4 o'clock today. So everyone should come and be around 4. It could be a little after 4. So we should at least be in the area. If you want to come in the Gompa, remember to be quiet. Rinpoche will be preparing. But probably the coffee house is good around, just so you know when Rinpoche will start. We don't know exactly. Owen asked me to put up a notice with the schedule. I think after today the schedule will be the same every day. We just didn't change the schedule. And I think I don't have to say it, but I guess I do have to say it. Please come on time. I mean, we were late because we were all still organizing things, but I noticed people are still wandering in at 9:35, and we will start at 9:30. And whenever a teacher comes in a room, whether it's a lay person or a sangha or a guru or a white person or a black person or an Asian person, you should always stand up. It's just to show respect for the teachings. It's not so much the person. You don't have to, I don't care what you think about the person, but it's just respect. And we'll always start with the 3 prostrations. So it's just something to know. So please try to be here before 9:30. I will too. I'm not always on time myself. I need to put this up so I sit up straight. Yeah. So we started, yeah, we had check your dreams. Yeah. Don't worry if you didn't have a good dream or if you had a bad dream. They always say check your dreams, but then the lamas always say, oh, it doesn't matter, it was just a dream. So, yeah. So today we thought to go over the sadhana. If I start to talk too fast, somebody raise their hand, because I forget, you know. Yesterday I had a lot of information to give in a short amount of time. So, yeah. And after today, my job mostly is just to lead the sadhana. But maybe, yeah, that's okay. So, I hope we have enough time. We might go a little over since we're starting late. I don't think there's much more to say other than I think what Rinpoche told us last night many times, to remember that everything you see when you're walking, when you're driving, when you're eating comes from your mind. And then even more profound is that it's merely labeled by my mind. I think that that plus, my life is for the sentient beings, will be the main mindfulness of this retreat. And some people may question, because what's this business about divine pride and clear appearance, and we see ourselves as the deity? Well, you have to remember that the deity is not ordinary mind and body is not a suitable basis for the label deity. So we can't just be our normal selves going around saying, I'm Chenrezig, I'm this normal I with my white body and radiating red light. White light, which is why Rinpoche's teaching last night is so appropriate, because if we can just remember that everything comes from the mind and everything is labeled by the mind, then that's the first step towards realizing emptiness, and the deity only arises out of emptiness. So, rather than thinking, I have a white body and these things, it's okay to do that. It's quite beneficial to do that. But what's more important, the divine dignity or divine pride is the sense, it comes out of the sense that, the I is merely labeled on the base. So that's the main thing we need to remember. And then when it comes to clear appearance, which everything is a manifestation of the deity and the deity's environment, really the next step, which is remembering all sentient beings, it's actually the compassion, the method. You know, in the sutra, the method is great compassion. But in Tantra, when we talk about divine pride and clear appearance, that clear appearance arises out of compassion. When you are in highest yoga Tantra, you know, and this Tantras too, when it's not really written in the sadhanas, but it's the force of compassion that brings someone out of the Dharmakaya to manifest as the deity. So it's really important to, throughout the day also, to remember compassion, because really we've had many teachings on the two wings of the bird that goes to enlightenment, wisdom and compassion. So that carries over into this Tantra practice of the deity. So if you want to understand clear appearance, then just remember compassion. Because it's the job of the deity, you know, being in the world and transforming the world. The way we can transform our world is by remembering the kindness of all sentient beings. So I just invite you to think about that, and think about the relationship between divine pride and clear appearance and emptiness and love and compassion. And to think and to because a lot of people just, well, I think it's very difficult to understand how you see everything as the mandala and the deities. But if you just remember that every single sentient being is more precious than a wish-granting jewel. And as Rinpoche has told us so many times, that without the sentient beings there's no liberation. Without the sentient beings there's no enlightenment. You know, without the sentient beings, life is meaningless. So when the sentient beings are irritating to us, then we remember the kindness, because then you go back to the other lojong, the other mind training. This is the appearance of my mind, you know. So I think that for this retreat, it's very simple. They're just these two things we have to remember. So in the break times, when you wake up in the morning, when you go to sleep at night, when you're eating, as much as possible, remind yourself, you know, everything's coming from my mind, and the purpose of my life is to cherish sentient beings. And then I think you'll make the most of your month, because it's not that we can't practice Dharma in our daily life, we can. But as we know, our minds are very distracted. And even though we may have jobs that are benefiting sentient beings, it's still difficult to develop that mindfulness and awareness. And so in retreat is when we get a chance to calm down our everyday activity, calm down the distractions, and focus on our own mind. So just remember that this is your time to focus on your mind, to make it more flexible and more loving and more kind. And that's all I want to say. And the other thing I'd like to say too is please respect the people in robes, the ordained Sangha. And at the lunch line, if there's a Sangha, please put them in the front. And Olivier will go for the refuge vows. And that's one of our refuge vows, is to respect Sangha. Although the actual Sangha is the Arya Sangha still, it's good to respect the people in the robes. And so please remember that in any place, you know, in the coffee shop, in the lunch lines. Oh, and one more thing. We have, I think, 170 people here. And you notice we have a traffic jam going in and out the doorway. So if you're sitting in the doorway, especially at nighttime when you have the cushions and everything, please at the break time move. Because, you know, it takes 10 minutes to get out the door. And I mean, that's okay. And also just be aware that if you stop to talk to someone or stop to talk, please don't do it in this little area here, because then the traffic jams up behind, because everyone will arrive, around 9:30, and then we have the big jam, because this is our only doorway. So just be mindful to keep the doorway open, and don't hang around on the door, and just take your seat and get out of the aisle, just because we're a lot of people. I think that's the only thing. Okay, so I think time-wise, because of the time, I won't do like a meditative motivation, because I said that we would go over these daily practices, pages 11 through 26. So maybe we just sit for 5 minutes, and then, so everyone has a retreat book, right? Everyone has a retreat book in your language? You didn't get one? They're back there. So does anyone not have a retreat book besides Yeshi children? Yeah. Not enough English ones? Oh, they're coming. Okay, well just listen. Ascoltare bene. Okay. I just changed my mind. If you receive teachings on Lama Chupa, which I really hope one day we can, somewhere in Europe, receive an extensive teaching on Lama Chupa, the beginning practice, they have the first preliminary is posture and breathing before you start any thoughts. So I thought we would do a little practice on reviewing the posture and breathing, and if they're new people, it's quite important. So we'll do a little bit of that, and then we'll move into the prayers. So we remember our motivation to attain enlightenment for all sentient beings. To make the most use of our perfect human rebirth. Every second closer to death. So bring your awareness, your mind, into your body. And just notice how your body feels, how your back is, how your spine is aligned. Feel your sitting bones on the cushion or the chair. And notice the breathing. Is the breathing in the chest? Is the breathing in the middle of the body? Is the breathing in the belly? And just be aware. So in case you don't know, we sit with the legs crossed in whichever is most comfortable position for you. If you can sit in the Vajra posture, which in yoga they call the lotus posture, that's great. But if not, that's okay too. Geshe Sopa once told me that if you can at least start in the lotus posture, because maybe you can sit 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it helps, because when you sit in that Vajra posture, the winds naturally become aligned. So begin to imagine that your body is a hollow body. And bring your awareness, first, I think, is best when you're breathing. Imagine that the breath comes down to the tip of the spine, the bottom tip. And as you inhale, and as you exhale, you imagine that the breath and the energy that rides on that breath goes down through the bottom of the spine, the bottom of the body, into the center of the earth. So every inhale, bring the breath down to the base of the spine, to the belly. Exhale, even further down. Just bring the whole awareness to the base of the spine. And if your mind is full of thoughts, and you feel the thoughts are in your head, just imagine all those thoughts in the form of letters like words. They're just melting like wax in a candle. They're just melting and dripping and falling into just to nothingness, and the energy comes right down to the base of the spine. It's almost like your breath is a vacuum cleaner, pulling all the discursive thought from the brain and the mind right down, dissolving into space and down to the bottom of your body, into the earth. If you're sitting on a chair, you can also imagine going down your legs and down through the feet, the bottom of the feet. Then we begin a body scan. So you just continuing with the breath, acting as the vacuum cleaner, bringing the agitated energy from the upper body down to the lower body, breathing into the belly, into the earth. Continuing doing that with another part of your awareness. You just focus on your feet, your toes, the bottoms of the feet, the tops of the feet. And imagine that all the little tiny bones in the feet are separating and the feet become more relaxed. Almost feels like the body is, it's a little bit expanding, becoming more like light and less like flesh and bone. Feel space in the bones. And in the ankle joint. Then the lower legs. The part of your awareness you can penetrate into the calf muscle, which is often quite tight. And imagine that from the inside there's warmth. And letting go. Becoming more spacious. Like, imagine it's becoming more hollow. As we move up the body, the skin is becoming just like an imaginary division of light between the space outside and the space inside. That the pores of the skin are opening. And that the whole thing is becoming more light and kind of glowing. Continuing to come up the knees. And if you're sitting on the cushion, just feel your legs dropping into the cushion. And the thigh bones. And then we come to the pelvis girdle. I hope most of you have seen a picture of a skeleton. So you can see it's almost like a bowl with two tips at the bottom. So just take a moment to feel your sit bones. Even if you're in a chair, you can do this. And just kind of rock a little bit back and forth and side to side. Maybe even make a little circle with your hip, with your pelvis. And just find the place that feels most comfortable, that when you breathe in, allows your belly to expand. Make sure your pants or your shantab is quite loose, so that you can really let your belly expand. Not only in the front, but in the back. And just imagine that within those hip bones, that bowl, when you breathe in, it's just, you feel a round bowl at the base of the spine. And you can allow it to expand in the front and the back. So as you're breathing in, it's like you're imagining you're breathing in and you're filling up this bowl with chi, with energy, with light. So it's becoming bigger from the inside out. Breathe right into the back of the spine, the place where the coccyx and the spinal cord starts. There's a little area there that's sometimes tight, so breathe into that. Imagine the breath goes there. And now as we exhale, the energy is going not just only down the bottom of the spine into the earth, but also down the legs, energizing the legs, making the body feel like it's made of light, white light. But it's also like a crystal. It's in the nature of the 5 colors, but it is a white light, like sunlight, you know? When it shines a certain way, you can see 5 colors. So then begin to bring the awareness, as we're still breathing into the belly. This is the most important part, is breathing into the belly, okay? And if it's not easy for you, then come to the Qigong class. And then you move up and bring the awareness to the middle ribs. And breathe right into the back of those back ribs. And feel that that is lifting your rib cage slightly. As you're expanding the body from the inside, it's almost like you're blowing up a balloon. So the front and the back of the middle body, first you fill up the bowl and the base. Around the navel is where this bowl is. The navel area is sort of the center of the bowl. And then, so the breath first goes there, then you breathe up into the back, the area at the bottom of the ribs, in the front, solar plexus area, expanding that. And every time you exhale again, the thoughts are, if you're still having discursive thoughts, they're coming down from your mind into this hollow body at the bottom and through the feet into the earth and the bottom of the spine. And on the next inhale, as you inhale, the breath goes first to the base, then to the middle of the rib cage. Now there's this next inhale, bring it, feel it coming up the back, up the front. So the breath goes up under the armpits, under the collarbone, spreading out the shoulder blades, all the way up to the top. Filling up your body, filling up this hollow body, and making you feel very big inside. Again, like blowing up a balloon. You may feel taller. Your spine is more long. You can make a long, slow inhale. And then as you exhale, you imagine the breath goes down the arms, down the legs, and out the top of the head. We notice then the alignment with the neck, and notice where the top of the cervical vertebrae, where the neck hits the skull, right behind there. In Chinese medicine they call that a jade pillow. It's a soft area at the base of the spine. And just imagine that that's opening a little bit. That your head can kind of like, move your head a little bit. Just let your head float on the top of your spine. You know, you can put it around in a circle if you want. Just feel your head more relaxed there. And that's what tucks the chin in. So the chin is slightly tucked in. And you're bringing the breath up right under those collarbones. And now you can imagine that as you inhale, you're actually also energizing the head. The third eye, notice the third eye and feel like that's slightly opening. The crown of your head is opening. The ears are opening. The eyes are opening. The nostrils opening. Feel your face relax, become more open as you expand, and just feel whole body made of light. Clear, Lama Yeshe used to say, clear, radiating crystal light body. The tongue is placed just behind the teeth, very relaxed. Teeth are not touching. Jaw is relaxed. And then the place, it's called the upper palate. It's just in the back of the mouth. Imagine that that is opening up and becoming more relaxed. That whole area at the back of the mouth that's related on the outside to where the spine hits the skull. You just imagine, just as you're imagining your belly becoming more open and round, it opens the whole sinus region. You open the back of the mouth. Just feel your face relax. Everything, the spine is strong, but everything else is just sort of hanging open. And as Lama always said, he said, then you just let go. So you breathe in and you feel the whole body, this whole filling up like I just explained. So just spend some time filling up the whole body, imagining it filling with light, imagining filling it with that light is infused with the blessings of all the gurus, our root guru and all the lineage lamas, the blessing coming in. The blessing of love and compassion is just riding on that breath. And then as you exhale, you just completely let go. And as you let go, those discursive thoughts, they just let go. They just relax, melting into light, melting into love and space. So then we can imagine the Guru and the space in front of us. And our Father on our right, and our Mother on our left, and all sentient beings around us. So it's sort of like when we're doing these meditations, if we're actually meditating with, if you've memorized your sadhana, you can do this while you meditate, while you do your practice. So one part of your mind, maybe a quarter of your mind, is always aware of this hollow body and breathing and having the energy very relaxed inside the body. And then with another part of the mind, you can do the whatever you're thinking, if you want to add some contemplation. So say, for instance, we take refuge. So Lama Yeshe used to say that the best way to take refuge is without any words at all. Lama was very much about experience and feeling things. So one of the main things he used to teach us was feeling this hollow, radiating light crystal body. So you keep that going with the breathing in. And you can move, you don't have to be completely still. If you feel like you need to rock your pelvis a little back forward or change a little bit, meditation isn't a static thing, We're always being aware of the body and how the energy is moving. But keeping aware of this hollow body helps us to stay relaxed and keep the winds stable and not upset. So then we take imagine the Guru, whoever is the Guru that inspires you the most to want to tame your mind and transform your small I into the big I, the grasping itself into the I that is spacious and flexible and full of love. So then, as you breathe in, you imagine that from the Guru's heart, or from the Guru's three places, the forehead, the throat, and the heart, whatever suits you, you imagine that the Guru loves you more than anything. Dagri Rinpoche says the heart of Guru devotion is just remembering the Guru loves you just as you are. Not how you're supposed to be, but just as you are. And so these waves of love and light from the Guru are pouring into you, into the crown of your head, feeling and participating in this breathing that we're doing. So filling you up with more white light, purifying you, purifying the mind, purifying the body, purifying the speech. And any particular issue that's in your mind, it's in your heart, that's blocking you. As you breathe in, you see this white light coming and like doing Vajrasattva, but without words, just flushing it out as it goes down into the earth and dissipates into space. So we just do that for a little while. And allow yourself to feel that love of the Guru. Just imagine it, you know. Just think of him or her smiling at you and showering you with blessings and love. And then we feel the, just have some faith of certainty that these things we imagine can actually happen, are happening. And then we see yellow rays coming. And you can take a moment to think about what you'd like to bring into your life, what the Guru's blessings is coming, you know. You can think the whole path to enlightenment. You can also think of more mundane things that need to occur in your life. Maybe more self-love, maybe more self-acceptance, maybe more forgiveness for other people, maybe more forgiveness of yourself. Even these things, you know, we don't have to always just keep it in the Lam Rim. You know, sure, we need all the Lam realizations, but we also need other things like that. It is all part of Dharma. So then this hollow body, this container we've created, is being filled with this light and all these, particularly joy. I think we need joy coming in. And then as you focus on this hollow body, with it's rather like a balloon is how I like to think of it. And as the skin is no longer impermeable, but the skin becomes just an outer boundary of light, and it's very porous. And so as we breathe out this golden light, we can send it out to all sentient beings, giving them also everything they need. So then we just become a channel for the Guru's works, for the Guru's activities, for the Buddha's activities, for virtue. And then we can imagine that the Guru comes to the crown of our heads, becomes very, very small, the essence of the enlightened body, speech, and mind of all the Buddhas. You can imagine the Guru dissolving into just a very little drop of brilliant light, white light like this, holding all the colors, and enters into the crown. And we imagine that at our heart is just a little lotus and a moon. And I guess we can think the seed syllable Shri. And the Guru just comes and melts into that, becomes oneness with that. And immediately the body explodes with good feelings. Just imagine, eventually it becomes, everything starts in imagination. And this experience of the hollow body becomes more vivid, more clear, and the mind completely relaxes. So there's just breathing and awareness and completely letting go. And we think, my mind, inseparable with the Guru's mind. My speech, inseparable with the Guru's speech. And my body, the enlightened body of Chenrezig, same as the Guru. So now as we breathe in, still with the hollow body that's radiating the crystal light. But as we breathe in, we imagine that the Hri and the lotus and the moon is energized, and it's energized with love and compassion. So just think about, if your mind is sort of cold and isn't feeling anything, just think about someone or some animal friend or something that makes the mind feel soft and loving. A parent, a child, your favorite dog, whatever it is. Your best friend, your lover. Or perhaps it could be a picture of something you've seen on the news of the children in Iraq, maybe children in Syria. Something that moves your mind to feel compassion and love. So that the heart begins to open up and get pumped up. So the breathing is like, it's like a bellows, the bellows that makes the fire go. So as you breathe in, you're stoking the fire of compassion. So you fill the body with the blessing of the Guru as you breathe in. Feel the heart. And you don't really have to think too much about the visualization. The main thing is just to be aware of the area around the heart, feeling that becoming warm and loving. So that then this hollow body, it's hollow, but it's not a dry hollow body. It's a hollow body made of light, and that light is in the nature of love. So then as you breathe in the blessing of all the Guru that empowers you to have unconditional love for all beings. And as you breathe out, you give that to all sentient beings, and simultaneously you let go. So when I say let go, I mean you let go of your conceptuality, particularly your thoughts
that I'm this, that, the other. And you just let yourself become oneness with space. A space that has the quality of love. And that's all. It's very simple. So when you have discursive thoughts, you just imagine that as you breathe in, they get sucked right into the heart of the tree. And when they breathe out, you just let go. There's just space and love. And then, when your mind, if you can't do that much longer, you feel that this is the refuge. This is the refuge is my future mind of enlightenment. My future mind that is beyond words, beyond concepts, beyond thoughts, that manifests spontaneously to benefit sentient beings. And this is my refuge, my future Buddhahood. Lama also used to teach the secret refuge, that when you develop this hollow body, it becomes very blissful. And so the other refuge is in the bliss of the nervous system, this blissful, radiating light body that eventually becomes the Sambhogakaya. or yeah, the inner, the blissful winds. And the radiating light body, the light, becomes the body of the Buddha. And this mind that simultaneously apprehends this non-conceptual space and clarity, lack of grasping, the letting go, experiencing uncompassionate, great unconditional love for all beings, manifesting spontaneously to benefit others. And this is our refuge. So then we can imagine on the lotus and the moon and the Hri, that the Hri is surrounded by the mantra. So we'll be saying a lot of mantra recitation. So it's helpful when you do the mantra recitation to remember this hollow body, the letting go, the unconditional love. So we'll just practice a little bit. So we hear the sound of the mantra coming from all directions and times, not all direct, yeah, that's okay. Radiating throughout the universe. The compassion and wisdom of all the Buddhas. Ultimately, the union of the clear light and illusory body of all the Buddhas. Alleviating all the sufferings of sentient beings. You can imagine as you say the mantra that the light rays go out and touch every single sentient being. And first relieve them of their temporal suffering. Give them everything they need. Everything they need. You know? Material happiness, psychological happiness, emotional happiness. And once they have all that, then you can begin with the teachings, the path to enlightenment, and you can imagine they all attain enlightenment. You can get, when you recite mantra, you can be very spacious about it and just think it's happening spontaneously. As you recite the mantra, and you just can relax into this spacious, blissful, being aware of just your breathing and your hollow body and the light going out. Or if your mind is very discursive and that doesn't work, then when you recite the mantra, you can be discursive and you can think, oh, now my mind, and you can think each person you know, you can have the mantra go out and touch that person, and this person needs a job, and you think that person gets a job, and this person needs a husband. Oh, this person needs a job. Yeah. Oh, okay. So if you have, you see I get discursive. If you have a very discursive thought, then you can use that for the meditation. So you can go, each person in your life, you know, that needs things, you can go to each of those people, give them what they need, and after they get what they need, you can give them Lamrim teachings. So sometimes when we're doing mantra recitation, you know, your mind just cannot stop thinking about things. So you can start teaching Lamrim while you recite the mantra. You can imagine that you're giving death and impermanence teachings, or you're giving this or that, you know. It's just up to you. But the main thing, it's really important in the mantra recitation to maintain this experience of this light, open body, breathing and relaxed. And feel it in the heart as much as possible. So, yeah, I didn't mean to talk so much. So let's just go back to breathing, feeling the Hri at the heart.
Okay, maybe you just keep doing that, and I'm going to read to you these, because we're almost out of time. These, or you can read, if you don't like this, you can read with me, but if you're enjoying just kind of relaxing into the hollow body, and just imagine that this body, this hollow white body, is the body of Chinrezi. Well, if you haven't had the empowerment yet, you can't do that, but you can still think that you have this hollow white radiating light body. So on page 11, and this is what Rinpoche is saying, if you have time in the morning, please read these, and I just want to read it to you so you'll see how beautiful these prayers are. I'm not going to say the titles, I'll just read the prayers. Essence encompassing all the Buddhas. So we're on page 11. Originator of all the holy Dharma of scriptures and realization, principle of all the Aryas intending virtue, in the glorious holy Gurus I take refuge. Please, Gurus, bless my mind to become Dharma, Dharma to become the path, and the path to be without obstacles. Until I achieve Buddhahood, please bless me to be like the youthful Norzong and Bodhisattva always crying, and correctly following the virtuous friend with pure thought and action, seeing whatever is done as pure, and accomplishing whatever is said and advised. Please bless me to see that this greatly meaningful body with freedoms and richnesses is difficult to find and easily perishes, that action and result are so profound, and that the sufferings of the evil-gone transmigratory beings are so difficult to bear. Therefore, please bless me to take refuge from the depths of my heart in the three rare sublime ones, to abandon negative karma and to accomplish virtue according to Dharma. In dependence upon that, even if I achieve the mere higher rebirth of a deva or a human, I will still have to experience suffering endlessly in samsara. Because of not having abandoned and being under the control of the disturbing thought obscurations, therefore please bless me to reflect well upon the way of circling in samsara, and to continuously follow day and night the path of the three types of precious trainings, the principal method for becoming free from samsara. In dependence upon that, even if I achieve mere liberation, since there is no sentient being of the six types who has not been my father and mother, please bless me to think, I must fulfill their purpose, and turn away from the lower happiness of nirvana. Then, please bless me to generate precious bodhicitta by equalizing and exchanging myself with others, and to follow the conduct of the conqueror's sons, the six paramitas, and so forth. Having trained my mind in the common path in that way, I will not be upset even if I have to experience the sufferings of samsara for a long time. However, please bless me to look at sentient beings with extraordinary, unbearable compassion, and to enter the quick path of the Vajrayana teachings. Then please bless me to protect my vows and samayas more than my life, and to quickly accomplish the unified Vajradhara state in one brief lifetime of this degenerate age. May I not give rise to heresy for even a second in regard to the action of the glorious Gurus. May I see whatever actions are done as pure, and with devotion may I receive the Guru's blessings in my heart. Magnificent and precious Root Guru, please abide on the lotus seat at my heart, and guide me with your great kindness, and grant me the realizations of your holy body, speech, and mind. Determined to obtain the greatest possible benefit from all sentient beings, who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel, I shall hold them most dear at all times. May I become like a wish-granting jewel, fulfilling all wishes, and like a wish-granting tree, fulfilling all the hopes of transmigratory beings. For the sake of accomplishing the two purposes of all sentient beings, without any sense of loss or concern, I give away my body, and likewise my enjoyments, such as food and clothing, and even all virtues accumulated over the 3 times. By abandoning attachment and giving everything away, I will attain the state beyond sorrow. Since sentient beings are the supreme field of generosity, I will give everything to them. By abandoning attachment and giving everything away, I will pass beyond sorrow, and my mind will achieve the non-abiding sorrowless state, the state of omniscience. Since I will have to give up everything all at once when I die, it's best for me to give it away to sentient beings, because Buddhahood is attained in that way. As I have already given this body, an impure aggregate, to all beings to use for their pleasure, even if they always kill me, criticize me, beat me, and so forth, I will let them do whatever they like. From now on, whether they play games with my body or make it an object of laughter, by ridiculing and making fun of it to hurt me, since I have already given this body of mine to sentient beings, why would I resist by protecting it and so forth? I will also use it to do any virtuous action that doesn't harm and benefit others. Whenever any sentient being encounters me, may it never be meaningless for them and always be meaningful. Whenever someone has an angry or devotional thought arise just by looking at me, may that attitude alone become a cause that always accomplishes all the temporary and ultimate purposes of that being. Whenever others criticize me with their speech, harm me with their bodies, or insult me behind my back, may all of them have the fortune to achieve great enlightenment. May I be a savior for those who lack a savior, a guide for all beings who enter a road, a boat, a ship, and a bridge for those who want to cross the water. May I be an island for those who seek the safe shore of an island, a light for those who want a light, bedding for those who wish for bedding, and for all beings who desire a servant, may I become a servant of them all. May I be a wish-granting jewel and a wish-fulfilling vase, giving rise to whatever is desired, such as food and clothing. Powerful mantra accomplishing the actions of pacification, increase, and so forth. Great medicine curing every sickness. A wish-fulfilling tree satisfying every need, and a wish-granting cow for all beings. Like the 4 great elements, the earth and so forth, and like the sky, may I always be a means of living in every way for the innumerable sentient beings. Likewise, may I be a means of living at all times and at all ways for the realms of sentient beings, equaling the extent of space until they attain the sorrowless state. And now His Holiness's favorite prayer. As long as space remains, as long as transmigratory beings remain, until then, may I too remain to dispel the suffering of transmigratory beings. So then you just, it's so inspiring. So then you just feel that, so all those words. Gampopa, Milarepa's heart disciple, said, after waking from sleep and before you get out of bed, think, today I'm going to use my body, speech, and mind and virtue for sentient beings. It is so important to generate this precious thought of bodhicitta, the ultimate good heart, Whatever you do that day is then done with bodhicitta, so everything then becomes virtue and the cause for enlightenment. If your motivation is wrong, everything then becomes negative karma and the cause of the evil gone realms. And then, when you go to sleep at night, dedicate all your actions of body, speech, and mind for sentient beings. This is extremely important. It is said that without difficulty, this becomes the path to the Dharmakaya. The Dharmakaya is the enlightened mind of the holy body. Now I timed this, it takes 6 minutes. So how much time we spend gossiping every day, you know? And how inspiring is this prayer that Rinpoche put together for us. So I really entreat you and invite you at some point in the day, after lunch or sometime if you have to sleep in the morning, to review these prayers. I find it so inspiring myself. Like I said, Celia and I, it was the favorite part of the day. So then we do blessing of the speech. So I'm just going over this because some people never did before, and definitely, you know, do this in the morning before you come, okay? I don't care what language you do it in. I mean, it doesn't matter, whichever inspires you. If you want to do Tibetan, that's great. I take refuge in the three rare sublime ones. May I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge in the three rare sublime ones. May I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge in the three rare sublime ones. May I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. And both Rinpoche and Lama really emphasized getting a feeling for refuge. You know, so often I go to Dharma centers and we do practices, we just get Sangye Chodan, blah, 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 finished. Then move on, what's next, you know? And the thing is, you know, refuge is the foundation of all Buddhist practice. And if you really cultivate this meditation that we just did, about feeling refuge in your heart and feeling the blessings of the Guru. In the beginning, maybe for you it's just words, it's not meaning so much. But if you really work at this and do this as your mindfulness, awareness, morning shamatha practice, you know, that it's important to do some breathing meditation. But if you make your breathing, if your breathing meditation is infused with the experience of refuge, then this becomes your safe place. Where there's a Beatles song, you know, it goes, there's a place, remember, where I can go when I feel low, when I feel blue, and it's my mind. Do you remember that song? It was one of the early Beatles songs, you know. There's a place where I can go when I feel blue, it's my mind. You know, there we go, the Beatles, you know, my first gurus anyway. So if you do that, you know, in your mind, so when you're in a bad way, you know, if you cultivate this refuge and really this feeling of space and safety, and you know, the Guru's taking care of me, and you know, there's room. All sentient beings are welcome there. You know, there's room for everybody in this space in my heart, and it's a non-conceptual thing. It's a feeling. Then, when someone is giving you a bad time, when you do have a very agitated mind, if you train in that, you can go there. And that's what refuge is. Refuge is your safe place where you go, where you can find bodhicitta, where you can find whatever baby emptiness you have, you know, even if it's just space. I mean, Rinpoche said not too long ago, you know, oh no, I guess it's Geshe Rabchen. I was reading Echoes of Voidness. I hadn't read it in like 30 years. It's a really great book. It's an old wisdom book about Geshe Rabchen's teachings on Mahamudra. And he said, you know, we might not get real, you know, experience of emptiness, but just having an experience of the relative nature of mind, which is our mind when it's calm and clear and there's no thoughts, and we have this relative nature of mind, that's a start. So we can all get that. We can all sit and relax and do this meditation where everything opens up and you just are calm and peaceful, and there's space between your thoughts, and your thoughts can dissolve into the Kriya at your heart, or you can put it at your navel, or dissolve into the earth, or just your hollow body, whatever it is. But we really need to train in that, because when difficulties come, at least this is my experience, when difficulties come, and I remember Lojong, if I remember, most of the time I don't remember, but if I can remember the slogans from the Lojong, particularly, put all the blame in the one and meditate on the kindness of others, it's just more words, and it's not powerful enough to cut the emotion that's beneath it. Because if I'm having difficulty with someone, if I'm angry, it's all charged up. And if I say meditate on the kindness of all, big deal. It doesn't do anything for me. But if I've cultivated this refuge, then all I have to do is breathe. And then I can remember, right, hollow body, space, love. And then that energy's gone. So I know I spent most of the time, I was going to do something else this morning, but this is what came. Because I think that, the rest of the retreat we're going to be doing recitation and everything. So I just wanted to give you a feeling of something else to cultivate while we are doing the mantra and while we're doing the rest of the practice. Because I find so much, we do so much intellectual stuff. And the intellect is not able to cut through the emotional garbage, and it's the emotional garbage that gives us all the trouble. But this kind of meditation does. So I just encourage you to work with that, and maybe come to the session a little bit early, and do this hollow body meditation, because the hollow body meditation is the foundation of all tantric practice. I can't remember, I was fortunate to meet some of those yogis in Dharamsala in the early 80s, and one of them said that when yogis do long retreats, they can spend a whole year just doing hollow body practice. So what I'm saying isn't just something frivolous, It's the foundation, it's how you don't get lung, it's how you can keep... It's like the beginning of the deity practice. So I wanted to do this with you, but now we have to go back to the speech, and then we have to stop. So then no more lectures. So, visualization. So then we have to go back to the hollow body again right now. First, purify the I'm on page 19. Purify the truly existent I in emptiness. Okay, so what do we do? Let's go back. You had your hollow body, right? You're letting go, space. If you can do an analysis on looking for the I, that's really great. I think all of us have had some teachings on how to meditate on the I. And if you can't, just think everything comes from my mind. And my mind is like space. And just find that place where your thoughts have stopped. And this wisdom, seeing emptiness, experiences infinite bliss. And you can also think that the wisdom experiencing bliss is non-dual with emptiness. So then, I rise as the deity. On my tongue, a syllable ah, and that you can see the ah there, transforms into a moon. On top of it appears a white syllable om, encircled by the white Sanskrit vowels standing clockwise, and the red Sanskrit consonants standing counterclockwise, and the blue heart mantra of dependent relation standing clockwise. Light beams radiate from the syllable om and the mantra garlands, hooking back the blessings and power of both mundane and supramundane speech in the form of the three mantras, the sublime, precious objects of the king's reign, and the 8 auspicious signs. There's a note here, you can go look that up. It says, but not now. This includes the power of speech beyond samsara of the Buddhas, Arya Bodhisattvas abiding on the 3 pure bhumis, and arhats, as well as the power of speech, not beyond samsara, of those who are engaged in the path, and also of those sages who have actualized the words of truth and have great power in their speech. Due to the power of abiding in silence and of living in the morality of abstaining from the negative karmas of speech, the words of those sages have so much power that whatever they pray for is successful. All the blessings and power of the holy speech from those who are beyond samsara and those who are not beyond are hooked back in the aspect of the 3 mantras, the 7 precious objects of a king's reign, and the 8 auspicious signs. Think that the whole sky is filled with these, and they absorb into the mantras on your tongue. Okay. So then we recite the Sanskrit vowels. And as you recite the vowels, you imagine white nectar beams flow down from the mantra and fill your whole body, and all negative karmas collect with your body from beginningless rebirths are completely purified. And before I forget, I just want to mention, in these tantric practices, we always talk about light and nectar. And the way you can visualize that, Sangram Che said that it's like if you're driving in the fog and the headlights shine in the fog and you can see the light in the fog at the same time. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like that, and it's little droplets of nectar, very fine drop, or like a spray, or maybe when you people have those, what do you call them? Those spray things that put essential oils in the air. Those things, like that, So it's like that, and that's what you visualize coming into you. And the reason we do that is because the light creates the cause to realize the clear light, which is the mind of the Buddha. And the nectars are for the illusory body, the body of the Buddhas. So there's a reason, there's always reasons for these things. They have very deep, profound reasons. So if you can, try to remember that when we see the nectars and rays pouring whenever it comes up in this sadhana. So let's do we all have to say this now. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, a, o, ang, so, ha. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, a, o, ang, so, ha. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, a, o, ang, so, ha. So then imagine pouring down, purifying. Then, as you recite the consonants, red nectar beams flow down from the mantra and fill your whole body. All negative karmas collected with your speech from beginningless rebirths are completely purified. Om kakakakana tsatatadana tatatadana tatatadana papapabama yaralawa shasha sahakya soha. Is that right? Om kakakakana tsatatadana natatadradana tatatadana papapabama yaralawa shasha sahakya soha. Om kakakakana tsatsadzagana tatadadana tatadadana papapabama yaralawa shasha sahakya soha. What? You just, okay, great. Okay, was that 3 times? This is written differently than what I learned, so that's why I'm a little confused. Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay, so then the heart-dependent relation mantra. So as you recite the mantra, blue nectar beams flow down from the mantra and fill your whole body. All negative karmas collected with your mind from beginningless rebirths are completely purified. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun tekan tatagato hi avada tekan chayo niroda evam vadi maha shramani ye soha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetu tekan tatagato hi avada tekan chayo naroda evam vadi maha shramani ye soha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetu tekan tatagato hi avada tekan chayo naroda evam vadi maha shramani ye soha. The heart mantra-dependent relation absorbs into the consonants into the vowels into the syllable Om, the Om into the moon cushion, that transforms into syllable Ah, the Ah melts into pink nectar and absorbs in my tongue, which becomes the nature of the Vajra. Your tongue becomes very heavy and strong, as if difficult to move, and as indestructible as a Vajra. Nothing can harm, take away, or destroy the power of your mantras, including black foods. Then generate very strong faith that all the blessings and power of the speech of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, sages, yogis, and so on have entered your speech, and your speech is perfected. Think, I have perfected my speech. The minute that sentient beings hear your speech, it pacifies their emotional and disturbing thoughts, and whatever you say gets actualized, they do what you say. If you think in this way, the power of your speech becomes marvelous, and whatever you recite is multiplied 10 million times. The power of your speech will not be diminished by eating wrong foods. More specifically, blessing the speech has 4 benefits. Your speech becomes perfect. Whatever you recite is multiplied 10 million times. All your speech, even gossiping, becomes the recitation of mantra. The power of your speech is not diminished by eating wrong foods. According to the lower tantras, eating garlic takes away the power of one's speech for 7 days, onions for 5 days, radish for 9 days, nettles for a year, and sheep tongue for one's whole life. May my tongue have all the courage of the ones gone to bliss. By the power of my glorious words, may all sentient beings be subdued. May all the meanings of whatever words I say be accomplished instantly. So when you do this in your room, you don't have to read everything that's in this fine print. You know, once you learn it, you can just visualize it and just say the vowels and then have it dissolve. And that takes about 2 minutes also. So Olivier is coming to talk at 11:30. So I'll go through the daily mantras and then we'll take a 15-minute break, okay? And I didn't get a chance to go over the sadhana, but this is what came out, and I think maybe it's more beneficial because we'll just go slowly through the sadhana the first couple days. Because anyway, we can't recite a lot of mantras at the beginning because we just go slow. Okay, so blessing the mala. So these are things you do in the morning. Om Ritsir Mani Pravataya Hum. 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 Then you blow on your mouth. I'm sorry, hum. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Smara Smara Bimana Skara Mahajava Hum. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Smara Smara Bimana Skara Mahajava Hum. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Smara Smara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Smara Smara Bimana Skara Mahajava Hum. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Smara Smara Bimana Skara Mahajava Hum. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Smara Smara Bimana Skara Mahajava Hum. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Smara Smara Bimana Skara Mahajava Hum. Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahajava Hum. Om Smara Smara Bimana Skara Mahajava Hum. Oh, there is, yeah. Yeah, I have them at the end of my book. I have them. Tayata Om Dari Dari. That's not how we did it at Light of the Path. We did them at the end at Light of the Path. Ooh, ooh. Okay. There you go. I don't know if you have this correction sheet. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I just wrote them in my book because they're very short. But a lot of the path we did them at the end, but Sarah's saying we should do them now, so that's okay, we do them now. Okay, so if you go to this corrections for the prayer book, does everyone have corrections for the prayer book? It's the one that says page 26. It says page 26, Sarah. I'm just going to do with what it says here. Sorry. Okay. After the section, holy name that fulfills all wishes. I'm going to follow this direction, sorry. Okay, so exalted stainless beam, totally pure light mantra. It might be good if someone who knows Sanskrit do this, but I'll just do the best I can. Nama nawa nawa ti nan tata gata ganga nam diwa luka nam ko tini yuta shata sahasra nan om bombori tsari ni tsari mori goli tsala wari so ha. We'll do it 3 times. Nama nawa nawa tinan tata gata ganga nam diwa luka nan kotini yuta shata sato sra nan om bo bori tsari ni tsari mori goli tsala wari so ha. Nama nawa nama tinan tata gata ganga nam diwa luka nan kotini yuta shata sahasra nan om bo bori tsari ni tsari mori goli tsala wari so ha. The 10 non-virtues and 5 negative karmas without break. I think just for time reason, you can read that at home. We'll just do them so people get to feel how to do it. Om Hri Ye De Sawa Tathagata Hridaya Garbe Sola Dharma Dhatu Garbe Sang Harana Ayat Sang Shodaya Papam Sawa Tathagat Samandra Ushnika Bimali Bishuddhi Soha Om Hri Ye De Sawa Tathagata Hridaya Garbe Sola Dharma Dhatu Garbe Sang Harana Ayat Sang Shodaya Papam Sawa Tathagata Samandra Ushnika Bimali Bishuddhi Soha Om Hri Ye Dharma Sawa Tattagat Hridaya Garbe Sola Dharma Dhatu Garbe Sangharana Ayut Sang Shadaya Papam Sawa Tattagata Samendra Ushnika Bimali Vishuddhi Soha. Then, holy name mantra that fulfills all wishes. Holy name mantra that fulfills all wishes. I think we go, Deshin Shepa Zin Gyalpo La Chak Sa Lo Taya Ta Om Dari Dari Dharani Binde Soha Deshin Shepa Za Zin Gyalpo La Chak Sa Lo Taya Ta Om Dari Dari Dharani Binde Soha Deshin Shepa Sa Zin Gyalpo La Chak Sa Lo Taya Ta Om Dari Dari Dharani Binde Soha. You can do them more if you want. Then we go to the correction. And it's easy, they're short ones, you can just put them in your book. This is increase the power of the mantra. We do this 7 times. Taya ta om dari dari ben dari soha, 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 taya ta om dari dari ben dari soha. Taya ta om dari dari ben dari soha, taya ta om dari dari ben dari soha. Tayata om dari dari ben dari soha, tayata om dari dari ben dari soha. Then to do the bless the feet. This is so when you walk on the ground, you don't, it says here, recite this mantra when you're about to walk on the ground where there are many insects or other small creatures, or when you're about to drive a car, bicycle, and so forth. You can blow this mantra on your car tires and your bicycle tires. So recite the mantra 7 times and then spit on the soles of your feet or on the wheels of your vehicle. So Om Kricharagana Hum Hri Soha, 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 Om Kricharagana Hum Hri Soha. So those are the prayers that Rinpoche would like us still to do if you can. Sometime the motivational prayers maybe any time, but the blessing the speech and the mantras you have to do before you come to the session in the morning, if you can. He didn't say you have to. So Olivier's supposed to talk at 11:30. So we can do more dedication at the end of his talk, but let's just do a quick dedication, because I just wanted you to get a feeling of what to do when you recite the mantra and take refuge and things like that. So we'll just dedicate if there was any merit, positive potential created during this morning up until now, that we can use it to attain enlightenment for all sentient beings, and understanding always that the dedication, myself, the merit, the act of giving the merit to all sentient beings, completely arising independence, is empty. And Rinpoche once told me, he said, when you dedicate, you think you're putting it in the ocean of the Bodhisattva's deeds, and it stays there forever until enlightenment. And rejoicing. And thank you so much for your patience with me this morning. And let's just take a quick break, a quick pee-pee break, maybe 10 minutes, and this is optional. If you don't feel the need to review your Bodhisattva vows or your refuge vows, you don't need to come. But it's always a good thing, I think. So, and I think Olivier's done some preparation, so he'll be back to do that. And then we have lunch. And then remember, after that, then the people who are helping with the altar to please come help. And today at 4 o'clock, be around here around 4 o'clock, because we're not exactly sure when Rinpoche will start. So, okay? Thank you so much. Oh, one more announcement, sorry. Today at 2 o'clock, Loretta Viscuso, I guess that's how you say her name, she's an artist, and she is exhibiting her art, Dharma art, in the big room up next to the library, upstairs in the main building here. And she's selling her drawings and her paintings, and all the proceeds go to Lama Tsongkhapa Institute. So I encourage you to go have a look. I think it's probably all afternoon. That'll be open around 2:30, it says, and they'll be there. So if you feel like looking at some nice art or maybe bringing souvenir home, please go and have a look. Okay, thank you. I think it's just, well, maybe, oh, it's the whole retreat. It's not just today. So anyway, in the afternoons, you can go see the art. Does this turn on?